Hey everyone, welcome to another episode tied to my blog near and dear to my heart. I want to first of all start by asking you guys to donate to support me filming more episodes. I've exhausted all the money I have, and I would really appreciate your support in me continuing to film episodes that speak to and inspire people. So, the title of the blog post for this week was The Supernatural Natural. Don't forget to check it out through the link in the description box below. I want to start by speaking on some of the supernatural experiences I've had. I'll start with demonic encounters. We might as well get the dark out of the way first. So one time I was on the subway and I literally saw demonic faces on like two people that were trying to get me to go through the side gates of the subway and not pay. I literally saw their faces change before my eyes. This taught me something. It taught me that even when you're doing something and you may not be sure of it and you may seem like it's not a big deal, it is a big deal. It can be really tied to demonic activity. There was also a period of time where I would see demonic faces on people. That's the only way I can describe it. I could literally see demonic figures through their eyes or on their faces. This was quite scary. So next, I'll go to the bright and shiny part. I'll speak about heavenly encounters and angelic encounters. God would show me heaven all the time. While I was walking, I would literally see things in a different way. I don't know how to describe it. It was like things before me had transformed to heaven-like appearances. It was simultaneously scary and beautiful. I could also feel angels all the time. One time I was at a doctor's appointment and I was waiting and I felt someone tap me on the shoulder and I knew it was an angel because I looked back and I didn't see anyone there. I was filled with so much joy and I praised and worshiped God back home on my way on the subway. Next, I'll speak on a Jesus encounter I had. In the middle of the day, Jesus came and took me to a field filled with pink butterflies and I almost touched one and then it ended. This was during my final year of university when I faced financial and spiritual challenges. I interpreted this as I was close to attaining something in the physical, which could either be tied to my graduation from university or it could be something that I haven't even seen yet. I also talk on encounters with the presence of God / the Holy Spirit. I would feel the presence of God so strongly in my room all the time when I was doing just like regular tasks. With the Holy Spirit, there was a time I felt his presence so heavy on me while I was doing dishes and I was feeling away because I wasn't as close to the people in the room. Basically, my roommates were all really close and they were in the room. And I walked in and I started having like anxiety. And I felt the Holy Spirit's presence so strongly behind me. And it was quite comforting. There was also a time where I felt the wind of the Holy Spirit come into my dorm room. And this was a day after I couldn't register for summer courses that I needed to graduate. I was just lying in bed and not feeling like getting up, and the wind came. It was so strong and powerful. I was so surprised. I didn't even know I needed that. So, yeah, those are some of the supernatural experiences I've had. Now, moving on. John 14, verse 16 to 17 says, "And I will ask the Father, and he will give you another advocate to help you and be with you forever, the Spirit of truth. The world cannot accept him because it neither sees him nor knows him, but you know him because he lives with you and will be in you." I talk about how the Holy Spirit is inside us in the blog, and I use the example of when I healed my grandma's legs to illustrate that. Don't forget to check out the blog. Link will be in the description box below. And I also want to speak on something else I touched on in the blog, which is ways that the Holy Spirit can move in not so supernatural ways quite powerfully. The Holy Spirit can speak to us through songs. During the day, I often hear gospel songs come to my mind, and the Holy Spirit speaks to me about situations, moments, etc. through them. One time I was speaking to a friend and she was telling me how she was waiting on hearing back about getting a job. The song came to mind from the Holy Spirit, Akamarama Kangakuru, Chineke Mo Akamarama, which means I will put my hands together and clap for my God, put my hands together. God was obviously telling her to celebrate, and she ended up getting the job. Woo! Yeah. So this can be a prophetic way that the Holy Spirit speaks. It can also be for other purposes. Another way that the Holy Spirit speaks is through Bible verses. In the last episode, I talked about how I went out on a busy street in Toronto and handed out lollipops with a note about Jesus. When I came back from one of the many trips that I did, I was feeling worn out and just questioning if what I was doing was really having impact. And the Holy Spirit put the verse on my mind, Galatians 6 verse 9. Let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. That really helped me. Another way that the Holy Spirit can speak is through thoughts that come to our mind. One time I was lying in bed and thinking, and I couldn't remember a word. So I asked the Holy Spirit, and instantly it came to mind. The word was microcosm. That was quite powerful. Another way that the Holy Spirit can speak is through things that happen around us. A preacher I know, Pastor E.A. Adeboye, the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, often says something like, if he even hits his leg somewhere, he asks God why that happened and the angels didn't protect him. I pay attention to what happens around me, both positive and negative and neutral. And then I speak to God about them. So that's it for today. In summary, God can move in our lives in outlandish ways, and he can also move through seemingly natural ways that we might dismiss. Please donate to support me filming more episodes. And don't forget to check out the blog through the link in the description box below. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you, and God bless.